Mortal Kombat sequel is getting closer. Here's everything we know. The Mortal Kombat sequel is getting closer, and fan hype is heating up fast. The premiere itself isn't far off now, and every month we're getting more and more updates. Producer Todd Garner recently teased that the first trailer is already finished, and according to multiple sources, Warner Brothers is planning to drop it in early July. So yeah, we won't be waiting much longer. Expectations for this one are definitely higher than for the first movie. While the reboot had its fans, it also left a lot of people disappointed, mainly because of the story and how it handled certain characters. That's probably why the team behind the sequel seems to be going all in this time around, aiming for something way more ambitious. They have been steadily revealing new details, and one of the most exciting parts is the expanded roster of characters. Screenwriter Jeremy Slater said straight up that he was inspired by how the original games always introduced more fighters with each installment. That same idea shaped the script, not just throwing in new faces, but actually building out the world and deepening the mythology. According to Slater, every new character is written with care. They're not just there to tick boxes. Each one has a real arc and a purpose in the story. He even mentioned they had enough material to make a 4-hour movie, but in the end, they kept it tight at around 2 hours. That suggests a more focused script and stronger storytelling across the board. Kitana, one of the first new characters officially confirmed, is Princess Kitana, played by Adeline Rudolph. Her inclusion opens the door to much bigger storylines tied to Outworld, which means we're getting not just bigger fight scenes, but deeper political and mythological conflicts too. And Kitana's role goes way beyond just fan service. She's one of the key characters in the sequel. Alongside Rudolph, the sequel will also introduce a younger version of Kitana, played by Sophia Zhu. That confirms we're getting flashbacks, likely showing Kitana's tragic past and the events that shaped who she is. In terms of character type, her arc sounds similar to MCU's Gamora, a girl warrior with a dark past, manipulated and raised by a tyrant who destroyed everything she once loved. In Kitana's case, that tyrant is Shao Kahn, and the world she lost is Edenia. The sequel will give us our first real look at Edenia. Like in the games, Kitana is its rightful heir, but her destiny gets hijacked when Shao invades and takes over, raising her as his own daughter. As the story unfolds, Kitana starts to uncover the truth about who she really is. Her emotional journey becomes a key part of the movie's core. Step by step, she realizes the Titan who raised her is actually her real enemy. Eventually, she breaks away from him completely and joins Raiden's team. Through Kitana's storyline, the sequel doesn't just add a new character. It kicks off a full-blown Edenian arc with its own politics, history, and heartbreak. Flashbacks from her childhood will show the occupation of Edenia through a child's eyes, letting the audience feel her trauma firsthand and see just how brutal Shao Kahn's regime really was. This plotline does two big things. It gives Kitana an emotional origin. It introduces Emperor Shao Kahn as a real threat, not just some boss-level villain, but a ruthless conqueror with massive military strength. It basically sets the stage for an even bigger conflict that'll probably explode in a third movie. Also, it looks like Kitana and Liu Kang might develop a deeper connection, maybe even romantic, just like in the classic lore. That would add another layer to her arc and give her more personal stakes in the fight. Sindel/King Jared. Another big addition to the cast is Queen Sindel, played by Anna Thursday Nguyen. She's Kitana's mother and, in Mortal Kombat lore, a key figure. Depending on the version, she's either a tragic victim or a dark queen. So far, the creators are staying tight-lipped about how they're approaching Sindel, whether she'll stick to her classic evil persona or reflect the more complex, tragic version seen in the newer games. Those portray her as a conflicted, human character driven by loss rather than pure malice. What we do know is that her role will be significant. Alongside her, we'll also meet King Jared, Sindel's husband and Kitana's father, played by Desmond Chiam. Jared's screen time will probably be limited to flashbacks, most likely featuring young Kitana. Fans of the lore already know his fate. Jared dies before the events of the main plot, and his death sets off the tragic fall of Edenia and opens the door for Shao Kahn's rise to power. These flashbacks will likely come midway through the movie, possibly when Kidna has already switched sides and starts revealing the truth about her past and Shao's real identity to Liu Kang. The setup could be similar to how they handled Scorpion's story in the first movie, introduced early via flashbacks and brought full circle for dramatic payoff later on. Shao Kahn. Let's talk about the main villain, the one everyone's been waiting for. Martin Ford's Shao Kahn could very well be the main antagonist for the entire next trilogy. His presence alone brings weight, mythology, and an overwhelming sense of danger. In the first movie, Shang Tsung was the lead villain, but this time, it looks like he's stepping aside so Shao can take the spotlight. This guy isn't just another boss-level threat. He's the embodiment of brutal, tyrannical power. True to the original lore, Shao believes in survival of the fittest. To him, the weak don't deserve to exist. He's not just evil for the sake of it. He's a walking symbol of authoritarian cruelty. There's a chance the writers will give him some depth too, maybe through flashbacks or deeper dialogue that explore what shaped him into this monster. Martin Ford is a perfect fit for the role. He's been sharing gym pics and behind-the-scenes glimpses, and we've even gotten our first look at Shao Kahn's iconic Wrath Hammer. What we don't know yet is just how big a role he'll play in the movie. Will he be a constant presence, actively driving the conflict? Or will he show up mainly in key scenes, looming over the story like a puppet master until the final act? That really depends on how the script is structured. Either way, his arrival signals one thing. The stakes are about to get a whole lot bigger. The rest of the text continues with detailed info on Johnny Cage, Baraka, Quan Chi, Noob Saibot, Jade, and the direction of the sequel.